Everybody, this is Guns Man. We're kind of doing some afterthoughts on the game within Myths and Shadows. Some guys have some questions, and we're just going to talk about the game in general. So, kind of recap. Lee's not with us. He's played by Evan. Durzub, who's played by Joe. Garrett, who is played by Wes. And Warnock, who is played by Kyle. Who was the only guy who had a last name?
I didn't have a real name. Honestly, if you last name.
What was your last name?
Fleshbiter.
No, it wasn't. That come on later. No, I don't believe that.
On the thing.
You never told me that.
Yes. Why did you not think that I ate?
No, because I would have wrote it, because I wrote everybody's name.
Bam. Now who poisoned me? I have a last name.
Okay, so, first question. Who poisoned you? If we'll go back to the beginning of the game, you couldn't make it one day. Well, I gotta find something to do with it.
We'll just kill him.
Yeah, we should have just killed him. You know, that's what we do around here in our games. Who poisoned Durzub? You remember Yuri Tanabachi? You threatened her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she poisoned you. But the thing is, you never found out about it because Stonebeard cut her head off.
Oh, her, okay.
Yeah. She poisoned you because you threatened her.
Stonebeard took care of it.
Yeah, Stonebeard took care of it, and you never found out. And then you killed Stonebeard. So it's like the circle of life.
Yeah.
So there is your question.
You lied to
Dead people.
Who poisoned Durzub?
Tell no stories.
Am I ever going to get to be with my one true love, Skull Crusher?
Skull Crusher. She fled.
Oh, she gone.
She went when they started arresting orcs. She left the city. I will do you a favor and say sure. Say maybe she hid in the city, and then once everything was over, she came around because even though she leaned more towards his style, though.
Yeah, but now I've got a big weapon and I got armor on now. Yeah.
Power. She likes power.
And we've already done it.
Yeah.
With a 20.
And then you went and got food. And
Yeah, I was hungry.
There.
I do that. I mean, that's a real life thing too. You gotta have a sandwich after you're done.
Yeah.
You gotta have a
good luck telling her to go to the kitchen. She gonna make you go to the kitchen.
We're just gonna be eyeing each other.
Any other questions off the top of your head? I've got some wrote down that maybe you guys weren't thinking about. Okay, now that you know your story, where you came from, what's your thoughts on that? I worked really hard on that.
Yeah, well, I really liked the idea in the beginning. Like whenever I told you that I wanted to be part of a Lich's phylactery that split, and I basically said I wanted to come at this blind, you did a great job of filling in the blanks and painting that picture.
I told Andy Waters what I was doing with that, and he's like, man, that's like brilliant. And he kind of has no clue about it yet. Like, he's trying to figure it out, and he's like, has no clue what's going on. So Wes, once I told him, I was like, Wes kind of painting the picture, because I was trying to tie you guys together, but I come to the point where eventually these guys are going to have to cross a road, and Wes is going to have to pick loyalty to some side.
Yeah.
And so at my point that I was wanting to do, what was supposed to happen was, okay, you're in a battle for Riddleport, and the woman that was caught that they had, right, was my original idea was to make her like she was going to be a divine. She was going to be a diviner, and she was coming to look for you.
Me.
Yes, for you. And eventually, I was going to try to. This is before you guys could go over Colt, and I was going to pit you two against each other to see what side he would take. Because once he found out everything that, wow, you're what I'm looking for, so does he stay loyal to you, or does he stay loyal to the cult?
Yeah, which the cult is, yeah.
Because, I mean, now, at the time, you were part of the cult. So, I mean, if he had found out that, wow, we're looking for this one person is split into 8 beings. By the way, Universal didn't count. That's why you were kind of confused. Usually, there's 9 magics, but there's 8 skulls. Everybody's Universal.
I figured Universal wouldn't have counted because it's not really a school.
Yeah.
You don't specialize in it.
And I was like, I want to pit these two against each other and then see what happens.
Well, as I was picking spells to counter the people. I took Fly and I took Innervation. for him to just keep knocking him down levels where he couldn't hurt me as bad. I was just picking spells to stop the people I was running with, not the people I was looking for.
Well, see, like, my problem with running an evil game was, how do you keep people that are evil from killing each other?
Well, you're not just a crazy homicidal maniac.
Yeah, no.
No, not at all.
Who does that?
Listen,
Not at all.
To only 25%.
And then they don't try to make one to run with them either.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to convert some people.
Yeah. I mean, he's not like Charles Manson. or anything.
I honestly, like, don't make fun of me because
Don't judge me.
I tried really hard to kind of go the way of Palpatine.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? I tried to stay low. I tried to stay behind the
And
scenes.
influence everybody to do your
Influence
stuff.
people, exactly. That's what I tried to do the entire game.
So, my question was, so if it would have come down to that, where you're sitting here, because my big reveal for that was, you know, you guys knew this big meeting was coming in the temple, and it just been you two. And then, like, you enter, and you look up, and you seen that elf that you seen at the library, which was Ravlin, and you seen him. You were going to feel that pain that you would feel. He would feel the pain, and then you two would be at the door.
Yeah.
And he was like, you. Because the High Father already knew who you were.
Yeah.
And so he was slowly trying to find where he was and keep you there until Ravlin got there. So what would you have done? Because obviously you would have tried to book it. Because there's no way in the world you'd have won that
Oh
fight.
no, that was a cult versus me.
Yeah, there was no way you'd have won that fight.
No.
So, Wes,
Go get 'em.
what would Garrett have done? Because you had loyalty to both sides. So do you pick friends or family?
If this helps, I would have killed you with the drop
And this
of
would
the
have
hat
been
if I
before,
could.
you know,
If I
you would
wanted
have
to.
known
Yeah.
everything.
Before I
Yeah.
known everything,
I would have wanted to make some
I'd stop
in this.
I would try to stop him. And that's why I said I would have killed him at the drop of the hat if I needed to further my progression.
I would have talked things out between you guys.
Sure.
Well, see, that's one things, you know, I was trying to keep away was from you two bringing these two in there.
Yeah.
You know, because eventually I knew you'd need backup if that was the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how do I keep them out of this and try to let them figure this out on their own?
Okay, I have to ask a question.
Sure.
The teacher that I talked to,
Draw.
Grawl, is he just a guy that was interested in seeing me burn the world to the ground, or what?
Yeah, he just thought that was completely crazy.
I am still interested in him, and I still want to visit with him.
Well, originally there's two plans for Ravlin. One of them was that was the original plan. Before then, I was wanting you to go see Grawl.
Yeah.
And you show up to see Grawl as Ravlin is murdering him.
Oh God.
Yeah. But it would be more like when you found Jocko there, like, hey, here come the guards, and you know he wasn't going to say anything to you, but you would catch him murdering Grawl, and then he was going to leave.
Yeah.
And then you knew, oh God, someone just killed Grawl. You wouldn't have known who it is, but then you might have recognized, hey, that's that elf that I seen at the library.
Yeah.
So I was going to throw all these tidbits out there to realize, hey, this elf is real. Who is he? Because you thought he was real at the time, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was an illusion by Jocko, because Jocko didn't even realize the dwarf was up there.
Yeah.
Because he'd been running around looking for him. So, yeah, I was trying, but Grawl, he's alive now, but my intentions were to kill Grawl, to kind of pull you into that more.
Yeah.
Now, now that you know you're a vessel, would you have willingly gone as a vessel? Because I can tell you right now, the like two guys before you were not willingly going.
Oh, I guarantee. It's like we're gonna basically take your soul away and kill it, and we're gonna put my soul inside.
Because they're all, I don't know if you gathered this, but they're all based on lies. The whole cult is. And it's just all for them five to stay young.
Yeah.
While Ravlin tries to become a lich again, that's all it is. So technically you are a lich.
Yeah.
You just don't realize it. And the thing was, before you go on, was if you gathered all these people, because I had all intentions to continue on with this, that you would have had the option, you would have had the power of a lich, but did you want to be the lich?
Yep.
That's why I kind of.
100% yes. Any character I play that casts spells, I want to be a lich.
So,
I'm a paladin. I want to be a lich.
Kyle's life goals.
Yeah. If liches were real, I would. Oh. Uh-oh. I would become a lich.
So,
No, I would not.
don't worry. So, well, okay, even though as loyal as you were to them, you still wouldn't do it. Because you just said you would have tried to stop him.
But
Yeah,
that's
true.
my life. That's not his life.
Exactly.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. Good thing I can't smell it.
I bet.
I almost threw up.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful.
I can smell, so.
Even if your own does stink really bad, it's not as bad as it is to the other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing what I set up for was my whole plan through this whole game was like for you guys to take over Room
So that was the original.
That
plan?
was the original.
So
plan.
whenever I mentioned it, you were
it was
like,
perfectly
shit.
fine. Like no, that's what I wanted. I didn't know how you guys would go about it. And as the game went on, I'm like, well, this doesn't fit these two. So my end game was to have you two fight these two. Because in the end, you were pure chaos. That's all you were. You can come back over here. It's
No,
okay,
I don't think so.
Come on back
I
over
can
here.
It's
smell
not bad.
I can smell
Oh,
it.
come on back over.
See, I'm neutral evil. I almost feel like I should start to turn lawful evil. Because I'm really trying to.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, remember the note I passed you that one time about the little dream you had?
Yeah.
What is that? Do you remember off the top of your head? You had it?
I should have it though.
Okay, read it.
Oh.
Because Evan never showed up, and that's something I was wanting you to talk to him about.
I'm pretty sure I got it here.
Real quick, what was the Varlas?
Varlas,
Yeah, what was his alignment?
alignment, lawful evil.
Lawful evil?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Varlas was lawful evil.
Because I know the spot was supposed to be the same alignment as the vampire that raided him.
There's some notes.
So I was just wondering.
Yeah. No, Varlas is chaotic evil.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this was mine and yours.
I'm pretty sure that I had. I know I do. I got it here somewhere. Anyway.
Well, anyways, okay. It was like you and some other. Yeah, that's not it. It's on one of these little bitty notepads that I was passing on the notes to. But it doesn't matter. I know what it was.
They'll tell me what it was.
Because it was you and some other people standing around, and there was like everything was burning,
Oh
and the
yeah.
big shadowy thing come from the fire. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my plan was that okay, so Evan got real, and you did too with the rock. You guys got like real enthralled with that, right? And okay, I was writing all this stuff up for this game when Evan was running his, so I really had no clue what anybody was going to do and what their plan was. So I just kind of bought that book, that Second Darkness book, because it was a book with Word Report in it, and I knew I was going to run Word Report because I knew it was an evil place. And so I went through, started fleshing out characters and all this other stuff. And I had a thing in there for the Rock Ripper, and he was this murderer. And I'm not going to give his backstory away because if someone ever visits Word Report, he'll still be there, maybe. But he did worship Robogun. And then Evan became obsessed with it. And who was trying to get him to worship Robogun?
Kyle.
You.
I still don't have a gun.
Well, the Rock Ripper thing was, and this is before I even knew you were worshiping him, was he was part of this thing called like the Seeds of the Beast, because Robogun is a rough beast.
Yeah.
And one was chaos, one was fear, and one was destruction. Well, he was fear because he held this group of fear over Riddleport, and he worked for years and years.
I found destruction.
Yeah, no, that's chaos.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
Because it's chaos within oneself,
Yeah.
from being a dwarf thinking he's an orc.
Pretty hard to pull off. There's one of the little acting skills there.
I had no idea.
No one did.
I had no idea.
It's the shortest work ever.
Yeah, because like at the beginning of the game, like that group you guys with, yeah, everybody kind of runs. Something was wrong with you.
I didn't. Not for a long time. Not until I tattooed your
because you
face.
have one eye.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Or when you had met Raveling, yeah, the other half of his face was burnt. But so I had this big plan was, okay, so he's looking for these seeds, and he's one of them, right? Well, remember when you guys were kind of looking into him, and you found out there for a while he had stopped? Someone found him, and they worship Overgood, and they told him what they thought he was, and he had this book, and it was all these rituals and whatnot to try to find these other people. So he'd been murdering all these women and then sometimes these men, and he was trying to find these people. And I planned on you once everything was started, like, okay, cool, he's gonna be one of these guys, right? And then you started molding Evan. I'm like, well, how does Evan fit destruction? That's when I started mind screwing Evan the entire time. He was destroying himself to become this. So that was my big plan. Well, then you're all about, because you kept talking about wanting to burn things down, and you're all about chaos. So what's opposite of chaos? Wall. Well, you want to control a city that takes a lot of the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I could see we're to the point where
we'd have butted heads.
you would have butted heads, and then it'd been you two versus them three.
Yeah.
For the destruction of Riddleport, yeah. And that was my big end game for all this. That's what I was wanting, because I was like, how do I end an evil game when everybody's got their own schemes together? Just let them destroy each other. And all I had to do was just sit here and watch.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to DM it.
And then I'm like, I don't want any.
No, I would have.
Yeah.
Because see, here's the thing. It'd been the first time we all got to play, and the DM actually got to play the because I played the Rock Your Ripper. Who everybody thought was Evan, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Evan, I remember when Evan found out.
I was paranoid for a while.
He was like, man, he's like, because he went here for that, and I was like, they all think you're Rock Ripper. It's like, for one, you weren't here today. And so it really kind of set it off. He's like, man, I want to play up on that. I was like, you should. It's hilarious.
I sent him a text. I said, if I die, I want to come back as a rogue, and I want to be the Rocket Ripper. He said, no, the Rocket Ripper's real.
Yeah, he's real. And he was like, really? So I was like, he's real. Yeah, the Rocket Ripper is real. And the only problem was I didn't know how you would react to the Rocket Ripper when you met him.
No, I don't know. I'd probably poke the bodies and stuff. I really.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, like, you were molding Evan's character.
Yeah.
And then, in his own way, he was, like, doing these rituals and whatnot to mold Evan to himself, because he'd not met you. He'd been watching you guys after things started getting interesting. It's just that no one's seen him, because I had Evan's perception. I kept wrong, because I know Evan had a really high perception, and he would never find him. So my thing was, after you weren't here when Evan fought him, which was pretty freaking epic, except for when he was like, chaos!
It was a funny shit.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about ruining a moment that I've been working up to.
It took me completely out.
I was just like, oh no.
You actually laughed. I was there and I cringed. I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, I was like, God, Evan, seriously, man, you've been looking for this guy, and then you find him, and you're like, oh my God, we worship the same God, and then you ruined it.
He got a little cutty with himself there.
But in a way, though, that made it better, because he was supposed to be all about destroying himself, and he was already ruined himself in that moment. Yeah. So that kind of gave me more of a reason to go with that right there. Once he done that, I'm like, that's the perfect time to just destroy his character and make him into something else. See, what I was worried about was how you would react to the Ripper. Because here's the thing, like,
I'd probably look at him and laugh, you know. There's nothing really to say to him. I mean, you know, it's not like, I just wanted to see who he was. Just his curiosity was more of what it had for me.
Like
that was why
you probably got along with him really well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it would have.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, I got a brother that's part bugbear too.
Yeah. So. Because like I said, you know, like Evan seen it all, like he wore the emblem of Rogavug on his armor.
Blatantly.
Yeah. And there's some I'd like to reveal, but Evan's not here for me to do it, so maybe some other time.
Yeah.
That'll work. Yeah, but Evan would like to know this stuff. But that's a page of the Rocket River.
Hell, just say it and he can watch the video.
Nah, screw you.
Okay.
Damn. It's for another day. Yeah. I'm watching this, Evan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again. Any other questions? I've got a list of some stuff. But what I was saying though, would you fight them over the city, over chaos, because you would want to watch the city burn? Oh. Because in the end, if you'd have met the Rock River, that's what I was leaning towards. You like,
yeah, I probably would have if I had to, but it really, I don't know. It would have to like be provoked. Like he'd have to try to control me.
Well, that's what, in a way, he was wanting to do.
Yes, he was doing it, but I was also letting him think that I was going along with him. But I was really, it just like Saul. Saul's like, just pissed me off with his murder. It could have happened just like that.
But if you would have joined the Ripper, then you would have been going along with his plan.
Which is
No, that'd been Robodug's plan.
yeah. There's no plan to it.
There's no plan. It's just pure chaos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Light a baby on fire. Wow.
That's all about it, right? I can see you doing that.
Yeah. What did it do? It threw it up on me.
Okay, well, if the game would have continued and you found out he had murdered Saul, how would that have went?
It really, really depends on if he wouldn't have left and he was still there when I found out. I wouldn't have just attacked him. I would have let it kind of stew a little bit, and I would have made a plan to try to kill him.
How? Okay, would you have let him in on that, or was that just something you'd kept to yourself?
Me. But that was if he was still there. Like, him being gone, me starting to do this thing with the city, like, I'm going to eventually not care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got what you wanted in the beginning.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't want nothing here, so that's why I'm like, I'm out.
And honestly, the thing is, if me and Saul would have teamed up, if I would have ever thought Saul was going to betray me,
Yeah, you have to kill
I would
him.
have had to fight him then and kill him.
He was pretty easy to kill. I mean, just I thought it'd be a lot tougher.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hit the guy like 2 times, and he was like, he's dead, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah. Sorry, Kyle.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions I can think of?
I had one just a second ago, but I forgot.
I got a couple of them. Okay, here you go. Let's
Who blew up the damn ship?
Who blew the ship? That was these rogues that had been running around town.
What the hell's up with the tentacle bomb?
Oh, tentacle porn bomb.
Tentacle bomb, huh?
Yeah, I forgot about that. We delivered that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something I can tell you since you run Riddleport now, because that's got a lot to do with the city. And that's secret stuff in the city that you never allied yourself with.
Okay.
So think about it. Okay, why before anything had happened, we who whisper woes, you guys were running around like you had to take a sacrifice at least once a month, right? And then you guys started running into these rogue characters. And then you also knew the Eye of Arcane was around. You know, and there's all these factions around town. Well, Evan was the guy that kept wanting to check into these rogues, but he was never really here to do it. So you never really got a clue to what done it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you ever put 2 together. The rogues blew up your ship because there's a guy that jumped you that night.
Yeah, I remember that. And
So,
then we killed them, and we tried to flay them like Rock Ripper, and we messed it up horribly.
No. I'm talking about when you went and seen Guy Tennant.
Oh.
Your ship blew up. That's what he was. Is that what
That's
you
what I
were
just
saying?
asked. Yeah, but the night before we murdered, because they had like a little dagger.
Yeah, they had daggers.
And then me and Evan.
And I was looking at
Botched.
Evan. I was looking at Evan and Evan Leaf for the daggers.
Yeah.
So, but that is something that will die down eventually. You've seen these rogues once you've taken over the city. That's something that will die down. So that's like 2 pages of stuff that you'll never know.
I could have,
Renaissance Guild.
well, I mean,
Assassin's Guild.
yeah.
Now, maybe it's possible.
Maybe Evan runs that now.
Okay, so you want to know about the black tentacle bomb
Yeah.
that was in this chest.
Was it a portable hole with an octopus in it?
No, it's like a smell of black tentacles.
Oh, okay.
They just opened it up and
It went off. That was the spell trigger.
some people needed to be made quiet is what it was.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with y'all. It's just that was just something to cause a little chaos while you were in Formosa. And when you got back, it's really not an avenue. No one took him down but Evan, and then Deadeye Pierce scared the shit out of Evan, and he just left him alone.
Yeah.
So that was something that never got explored. But that's just more mystery to the city of Riddleport.
Yeah.
So see, even though you run the city, you kind of leave a little mystery with
Well,
it.
yeah. I mean, that's the way it'll always be.
Oh yeah, especially the city.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was, Pearson was just tying up some loose ends.
Somebody owed him money.
Yeah, that was the way just to make things interesting, because I knew you were going to find out what you were going to find out while you're in Corvosa. So that was just to throw a little chaos into the mix, see how all that would fall. But you weren't even there, so
Nope.
there you go.
I was getting mind fucked at that point.
Because my plan was, okay, I knew you were going to find that out. That was the whole main part of going to Corvosa. I just needed a reason to get you guys there.
Yeah.
And I knew once you found that, I was like, okay, well, eventually he's going to want to finish this with everybody. And then I know he's going to want to go look for that. Like, see what he can find. And I figured, okay, well, they're going to go do this. It's going to go off, and then people are going to be looking for him because all this happened, and he's going to be like, shit, what do I do? No, I didn't turn out like that at all. You were never there, so you're never associated with it. So that happened a lot in this game with you guys, because you guys, especially like this guy, it was just part of the game. Like, I'd have something planned, and then you guys would do something that I'm like, well, it's like this is here, and you guys would go, whoop.
Yeah.
Like, well, there went that page and this page. And that happened a lot. And in the end, really, I let you guys kind of dictate where the game went.
I could tell. I could tell when that happened.
Yeah, because I had notes of all this stuff, and if I try to steer you guys one way, and you'd be like, we're going to go this way. I'm like, okay, I can work with that. And then I would just let you guys go and do what you guys want to do.
The one time I tried to do it, I tried to go to the lighthouse. He's like, there's this lighthouse, and there's this Lord. I'm going to go over there.
No,
No, you don't want to do that.
One time you just wanted to talk to somebody.
That guy would have killed you. You would have not have burned that lighthouse down. You'd have been dead.
Really?
Yes.
It's a challenge.
That guy was the most powerful orc in the city, which you might get to know.
He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, his name's in the book, but he has run that lighthouse for like 20 years now, and that's all he does. And he's a sorcerer. And no, that is the only guy that Croak could not get on his side, because he was there before.
Everybody.
Yeah, before the whole thing with Saul and Cromartie happened, and no one ever messes with him. They leave him be, and that's all he does is sit in that lighthouse. So no one knows what he does up there.
There's a lot of semen.
Probably. When you walk, yeah, you know, and he flings it out there. I think it's a bird poop, you know.
Bird got me. It tastes real salty.
Yeah. I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Why is there a rash of half orcs?
Yeah.
Quarter orcs, I don't know.
Okay. Any other questions before I throw some of these out here to you?
No, I don't think I have any.
Anything you can think of? Something will eventually come to you. Okay, here's one that you guys might not think of. Who robbed Saul during the gambling tournament?
Yeah, who was that?
Because
was
you
that
guys...
Was that the rogue faction?
Nope.
Yeah.
So, okay, everybody kind of take a guess. You're going to say you thought it was these rogues.
Well, that's what I
Okay,
said.
everybody take a guess. Maybe who you thought it was.
You said a demon?
Yeah.
What demon?
The imp or whatever.
Nope, not him. No, because remember, he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can rob somebody and go back.
Yeah, nope, wasn't him.
It was Lee.
Who was there?
It was probably the chick that he aligned himself with. Honestly.
Damn, who it was.
Honestly, you ruin a business, come in, swoop in, then you're like, wham.
Exactly who it was.
I'm
Lady
feeling
Rowan.
out.
Lady Rowan hired them guys to rob that tournament just so she could get her foot in the airport. Not that you will ever know
No,
that.
I won't ever know that.
Which is the thing, like, you never really tried to talk to her.
No.
You were all about Saul.
Man, it's all my buddy.
And so, to her, that's what she wanted, because he's like, well, he is so blinded by his friendship with Saul, I'm going to start doing all this other stuff, and he'll never know that it's me. So, yes, that is who robbed the cheapest devil and take his gold tournament.
I was thinking who would benefit out of that, and I was like, she bought
now that we brought her up, does that name strike a bell to either one of you two?
That isn't
Because
that,
you said that before. You're like, why do I know her?
Isn't
name?
that the girl that was the captain of that other game was in love with or something like that? She was a redhead. There was a redhead in a game. It's her, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I couldn't remember.
When you got when we were in Chillax and you were in Pizzac.
The brother, wasn't it? The brother was in love with her.
Yes, and her and the guy who ran Thieves Guild were screwing him.
Yes.
They set him up.
Yes.
That's her.
Okay.
She has moved her operation.
I knew
You
that.
remember that? Okay, this is when you played, God, what was your crazy name? Usual Suspect.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I was
Yeah,
a fighter.
remember
but I was
I was a hunter.
well, no, I was an angel trying to.
You were, no.
Oh, I was
Ranger.
playing my ranger, wasn't I?
Ranger.
Yeah.
In half orc.
Yeah.
And she
It's always half
she was running the Thieves Guild with Kirsch,
Yeah.
who John just hated.
Yeah.
Kirsch.
Yeah.
I mean, even outside the game, he hated him so
He
much.
would call me.
That was
after
by
games.
far the greatest villain I think I've
Kirsch.
ever
Yeah.
hated.
He would-
bitch about Kirsch.
John would call me after the game and be like, "Fuck Kirsch." I'm like,
Let's. We were in a game about 2 years ago.
"Yeah, it's a couple years ago."
And probably this guy called Kirsch, and he was supposed to be just a little bitty guy, just to kind of move the game along.
I fought him, is what it was.
He became so much more, and God, I think you guys were supposed to get him like at first level, and they didn't wind up fighting until he's like 5th level, and it kind of like it's to the point where one time they even forced John and Evan's character to team up with him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just because there was something that they couldn't beat, because John and Evan had got played, so I ran a side game while they were, on Saturday night, and I forced them to team up with him, and John did not want to do it, but he knew it was the only way it was going to get done. And John, I think you were the only person that did not have a grudge against this guy. Everybody else did, and John hated him so much, he would complain about him outside the game.
Yeah, he did.
I just want to talk to him. I'm just gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
What
he
he says.
hated him.
Like fuck Kirsch.
Yeah,
Kirsch?
it literally was fuck Kirsch every time. Greatest villain I ever created, who is still alive.
I think come back from the dead.
Yeah, he did.
That was not that game. You cannot ask that question.
We killed him, and
They came back from the dead, and no one ever knew. But you know what? You found her when you were trying to find him, and now she's here. So I'm just saying, there's some stuff that you guys don't know.
You know what? If I meet a demon dude that can help me become a lich, more power to him.
Hey, well, you're already going to be a lich. If all this succeeds, you never know. You might have to create a guy to come right back to Riddleport to find out.
Yeah.
Another thing that I figured someone might know is what Guy Tennant was trying to say to you when you murdered him on the fence post. Which might have saved the game.
The game ended pretty well.
Well, not the way I wanted it. I kept wanting to do this, but it just got so chaotic and so spread out. And I was like, man, there's no way in the world this is going to come back together. Guy Tennant was trying to tell you you're being set up.
Probably.
That's what he was trying to tell you. Well, not probably. That's what he was trying to tell you.
By
He was
him,
trying
he
to
was trying to
save
kill
his
you.
own
Yeah,
life.
right? Yeah.
But he was trying to tell you that Crow already knew what you were up to. And that he was waiting for you, and you came back and murdered him.
Yeah.
That's the reason you wouldn't drink your the good stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? Did not work as planned. That's why I quit playing. Way to go.
Yeah.
That's when your directions just went out the window. Like, screw it.
Hey,
I tried to
part of the
play
game,
smart
man.
game,
It's
it
something I
didn't
can't
work.
help.
He's like, I'm out.
Man, I wish Evan was here because I know there's questions Evan would ask about Pearson. Because I know that's something he really want to know. There's more stuff you want to know about the Rock Gut Ripper. Anybody else? Anything you could think of? Wes's weirdly obsession with the halfling cleric chick he was trying to befriend. And he was trying to I want to bang this halfling chick at the beginning of the game.
Just put her on him like a combo.
What's she there for? I mean, I know she was just there for.
Someone in this game met her beforehand.
It was me.
It was him.
I met her.
His brothers beat her friend down, and he just happened to walk by.
I met your brothers and her at the same time.
And her friend that they killed.
Your brothers killed somebody, and there was arguing between your brothers and the man at arms. Men at
Yeah.
arms.
Gentleman at arms.
Gentleman at arms, and
Was it behind the thing while he was waiting?
No, this is back when the game was being set up.
they
When I
were
was trying to get everybody to go to
they killed
Deadeyes.
halfling, and the guards were saying it was a kid, and they were like, "No, it's a halfling. He attacked us, and this and that."
Hey, who's stealing? They were halfling stole.
And this was days after I woke up.
Yeah.
Days. I was fresh into the world. And
Didn't even know what halfling or orcs were.
I had no idea.
Walks
what
in the
anything was.
report and walks across the murder.
And I'm like, who? We got talking. I was like, who do I need to walk out or look out for? She said, everyone you could see.
And then he was on edge the entire time, like, oh. Oh, the Raleigh sisters. You never got close enough to.
Not because they were bitches to me.
They were fucking you right, man.
Because I was a half orc. Just because I'm a half orc.
You had eventually met them because they worked for Varlas.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I bet they would have been surprised.
Yeah, like each one of them was fucking Gretchen, one of them was fucking him. But they're gone right now, so the game never got far enough that you.
Well, I'll eventually.
Which would have been interesting because they did not like you at all, and.
Now I run the city now.
Excuse me. Run the city.
Send them up to the lighthouse.
Who else was part of the group in the beginning? Barlone.
What was Ebonleaf, man? Was he anything? Was he like tied to a? I just didn't trust him.
Oh, that's
Ebonleaf,
the
the rogue that he had the
Daggers hidden in.
daggers.
Oh, I can't tell you about that.
Okay.
It's part of the game that will say part of your city. I can't tell you about that.
Okay.
Same as
Well, if you'd have thought about it, he had a dagger on his arm. You found the rogues with daggers on their arms.
No. I asked you if he had a dagger.
Oh no, he didn't.
He didn't have a dagger.
Oh, no.
That's right. Because you said, have you looked? And
No.
I said,
Okay.
He's the one that tried to take those knives.
Now I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. He, it's Bladeleaf, not Ebonleaf.
oh yeah, Blade Leaf.
Even though I can mark that down as a name, Ebonleaf sounds really cool for an evil elf.
Well, I always told myself if I ever played a druid or something, I was gonna play an elf, and his name was gonna be Nexel Ebonleaf.
I like that. So basically, like Blackleaf.
Yep.
I like that. Bladeleaf was a way to try to draw you guys in a different direction, but he died
Yeah, he did.
really quickly with a bunch of other people.
Too much.
It's a story for another day, and that'll be part of the revolving world that I've created. So it really would have drawn you. You probably would have fought against it. Evan would have went with you. Depending on your situation when it came about, I don't know what you would have done. It would have been one of them things where you'd been torn between friends and family. Because you would definitely win.
Yeah.
What avenue that was going down. Because it'd been like, hey, we're not power.
Mm-hmm.
You'd been like, yeah. Especially when you found out, you'd been like, yeah, I really want that. So, any other questions? Anything you want to bring up before I wrap this up forever? Before you can figure out any other things that's part of this game.
Can you tell us what everything, like what else was on the table of?
And yeah, I can tell you that.
Oh, just a little that he let burn down.
That he let burn down.
That the skull.
There was some pretty good information. Okay. Let's see. You found number 4, which you grabbed. So one of them was Warnock's power he seeks. These are just kind of notes. You're searching for these and being spoke of. Yeah. Apparently you made someone took notice of you in Corvosa. So going back to Corvosa, even like after this game, you're going to draw a lot of attention to yourself. Right now, probably not good attention.
Okay. Corvosa, was that where I killed the halfling?
Yes.
Okay. And
No, that's where you killed the dwarf. That's where you found the power of the dwarf. You didn't kill him there. You killed him.
No, I didn't kill the dwarf. Dwarf killed himself.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's where you met the halfling.
Okay.
You killed the halfling where Brawl lives.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Let's see. There was a note about attack of Ravenmore, the destruction of the grandfather, divination spells have not been able to locate his soul in the afterlife. You would know that because he was split into 8 pieces.
Yeah, I could have patched that together.
Yeah. With powers failing them, this is for you. The powers failing them, it's time for the chosen to become the High Fathers. Because you were the chosen, each High Father had a chosen because you were supposed to be a vessel. But first, the new grandfather must be selected from them. With Ganir dead, that would call for 2 new chosen to be selected after the grandfather is crowned. So you actually had a chance to become
the grandfather.
Because this was 1 month ago. So this is when they realized that they could not find Ravlin and that it was time to move on. So you actually could have done something.
Yeah.
But you never grabbed any of this paperwork.
No.
So, to see, like, you could have been a High Father, like a legit High Father, and a chance to be the grandfather, which probably more likely would have been one of the old High Fathers. See if I'm glad you asked this, because then there's stuff that there's a bunch of crap here in front of me. See, there's one, okay. Dark Lady was transported away by the grandfather during the attack on Ravenmoor. Chet's Hazard. That's one of the High Fathers. Let's see, here's one. Weapon found. Meet on the new moon of Ardus in the catacombs of the Flesh and Marrow 1 month from now. Allow plenty of time for congregation to make the trip. This is when I realized that you aren't going to meet Ravlin at your temple. This is where, if the cult was staying together and you had not switched sides, you two, this was just going to be like dinner downtime, you two would have went to the catacombs of Flesh and Marrow, which I won't tell you where it's at. You would have been there. All 5 of the cult for we Whisper Rose would show up, and you'd realize how massive your cult is. Because you gotta think, you're in Riddleport. Riddleport is the 2nd smallest city of the 5 that you knew of.
Yeah.
You would have seen how many people were involved, and then you'd been there, and then boom, you two would have seen that elf, and you thought, oh my god, there he is, and then everybody would have got to walk up, do some little thing with him, kiss his hand or whatever. And then when you got close enough, you realized, oh fuck, that's Ravlin. That is yeah, that's one of me.
Yeah.
Is what you'd have realized. But at the time, you didn't know it was Ravlin. So that was the plan for that.
So Ravlin's still out there, though.
Mm-hmm. Spider. I can tell you about Spider. Spider's right here, since he's actually part of your entourage now. Spider was a drow. And he worked as an assassin for Varlis, and he's an alchemist too. And he was experimenting on making himself physically stronger and like more ambidextrous and whatnot. And literally morphed himself into this spider hybrid creature to make him more stealthy, and it saved him for one, getting more options when it comes for assassinations and stuff. And it allowed him to have like less gear because he could climb on walls and shit like that. So yeah, so actually he's part of your entourage right now. What I was wanting to do, depending on
He
what...
lives in my pool house.
No, he fled that. No one knew, not even Varlis knew he was there. But once he captured Garrett and Lee, and he went and got Varlis, and Varlis wanted to go, he brought Varlis. Another plan I had for him was, okay, what do you remember about being webbed up? Like, what you were hearing and stuff.
All the crying of the women.
Okay, exactly. So, do you remember when you went down there and there was a couple corpses and like their stomachs were like ripped open from the inside? He had plans to take over Riddleport, and what he was doing was impregnating all those women to build an army of creatures like him. So there's a bunch of little mini-me's running around right now of him. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was like literally like, and the babies were like ate themselves out from the inside. So you're having like a little army of spiders running around. And my original plan was he was going to be one of these guys. There's a bunch of people in the city of Riddleport that's wanting to take over Riddleport.
Great.
And he was originally one of them. But now that Barless runs Riddleport, he's got no reason to control Riddleport. There are, I can tell you right now, 2 other people in Riddleport that want to control it. And you have not.
Any clue?
You've met one of them.
I'm gonna say Pearson.
No.
No.
You've met one of them, and the other one you've not met. You were actually really close to meeting the other one. So yeah, glad you brought up what were the notes because the whole thing was spiders. Beside that, I'm gonna flip through here real quick see if there's anything else I have to remember.
Whenever I was put under spell with spells to try to figure out what I am, and I seen a shadowy figure coming toward me.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Remember whenever I visited
Grawl,
and he tried to put me under,
Mhm.
and a shadowy figure. I can't remember if it drew a sword and came at me, or if it just tried to grab me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You had the vision of the sword coming down, and you seen the hands. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The sword. Okay. That actually I'm glad you brought this up because you would realize over time that sword is Varlus's sword.
Really? Huh.
That was you seeing through Ravlin as Varlus was striking him down and killing him.
I got it.
That's what you seen. Now, if you would have, like met some more of these people, each of them have memories of like the last day, and you would have pieced that together. But yeah, that was your part.
Okay.
Because Jocko, if you would have murdered Jocko so quickly, which I didn't expect you to do, I was hoping you'd capture him, he would have told you the part he would have seen. And then you would have learned that the elf that you seen was the illusion, and he says he can't keep him out of his mind. Like, he keeps seeing him.
Oh.
And you might have started to piece stuff together. Like I said, there's times where something was meant and you guys went a totally different way.
I knew I had to take care of it because if he would have yelled or anything, I would have.
Yeah, he would have been done. Yeah, but it's like I said, it's not an avenue I expected you to take. I was expecting you to like find some way to capture him. So, but it didn't go that way. Here we go. Last chance. Anything anybody remembers? Anybody want to ask anything?
I don't think so. Nothing I can think of. I'm sure there's plenty. I just don't
You just
think of it
can't
right now.
Yeah.
Ready versus a cat.
Ready versus end of game. So.
Okay. I'm ready now.
So, well, this is the very end. Hope you guys have enjoyed the game, and we'll see you next time.